Hey Mama, how's it going? Jocelyn here, and I am going to share with you something that I learned this Christmas season. Hopefully, ideally, I will remember these episodes or go back to them myself because this has been a good learning experience, and I will share that story with you after the intro. Hi, I'm Jocelyn, fellow mom of 5 and host of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast. I help pregnant women and mothers to find the positivity in their season of life through changing their thoughts to work for them and not against them. I help mothers find the small, doable steps in thought and action without making drastic changes to their everyday mom life. And I can help you. Let's find positivity during our pregnancies and in our motherhood together. Thanks for joining. Pregnancy is just for a short time, and that short time can feel like a very long time, and it can be very difficult and filled with a lot of heartache, a lot of struggles, I feel like you're falling behind, mental fatigue, physical fatigue, emotional ups and downs. It is just a roller coaster, and it can be really hard. And if you are pregnant, I encourage you to listen to my Friday episodes, which focus on pregnancy, and especially that awful first 6 weeks where you're just so sick and miserable, and doing your best to find positivity even in a season that is really hard. If you're not pregnant, tell your pregnant friends about it, and next time you get pregnant, use this podcast to find more positivity. It helped me. I have been able to have 5 babies because of changing my thoughts. I've had some pretty traumatic births, some very difficult pregnancies. The side effects wore on me each and every pregnancy, but each and every pregnancy I learned more ways and more positivity that helped me to get through. So it can help you too, and not only will that help you during pregnancy, what you will learn on those episodes actually carries over into motherhood. And every Tuesday, I try to do a motherhood episode. Now, it doesn't always happen because I am a mom of 5. I have chosen to homeschool. I do help my husband in his business, and it just kind of makes me busy, but I like to do those episodes. So if you're listening on Tuesday, that is what my Tuesday episode is more focused on motherhood and what I am learning. And I learned something really valuable this last December. One of my sweet daughters is a gift giver. She is good at giving gifts. She likes to give gifts, and more or less it's kind of her love language, I guess you could say. And so she came up with this idea that she wanted to give her friends little mice that you could crochet. And with these mice, she wanted them all to have a blanket and all to have either a little Moses basket or a crocheted leaf. And she knows how to crochet. She can do most of it. And the mice were little. Like, they were really cute. They were small. I was like, oh yeah, that should be an easy project. And then when we got started on the project, I realized, oh no, this is not going to be an easy project. There were, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There were like 11 pieces to this mouse. There were 2 legs, 2 arms, a body, a head, a back part of the ear, a front part of the ear, a back part of the other ear, front part of the other ear, and a tail. And so this cute little project that I thought would be simple and easy to do turned into this big undertaking that we were both a little bit unprepared for. Now, I want my sweet daughter to be giving, and I want to help her be giving, but I also want to help her get better at some of these talents like crocheting. And so one day she knew it had been on her radar that she needed to crochet these. She had 4 that she wanted to do, and it turned out that we were able to see 2 of her friends like that night who she doesn't get to see very often because we don't live close to them. And so she knew that she had to hurry and get those done before that evening. And as I looked at the complexity of sewing all these parts together, making them look cute, it was going to be very tight. So I had volunteered that I was going to help her. And so I did. I sat down and I helped her, but it took a tremendous amount of time. And I was not able to get dinner done. We went to a concert. I actually had to call my mom and ask my mom to bring snacks for my kids to eat at this concert because we didn't have time to grab dinner. And it was like one of those days where the pantry was low. So I didn't even have snacks of my own to grab. And so I was feeling all these emotions, like, I don't have time to make dinner. I'm stuck helping you do this project. I didn't tell her any of this, but these were the thoughts that were running through my head. Like, I was annoyed. I was frustrated. I was having to do this project that was more weightier and way more time than I wanted it to be. And I just was frustrated. I was like, why don't we just dink and buy something next time? Like, in my mind, I was having all of these thoughts as I was sitting there helping her crochet these things. But then I started realizing what my thoughts were doing and how negative I was being about it. And I was very tempted on the way down to just tell her, I am not doing that again. We are done. I'm not doing that again. This was too much. It's too much of an undertaking. These are too hard. You're going to have to pick something simple. And I was very tempted to do that. Now, I do realize at times there may be something that is too complex that you need to not keep going with. You need to just kind of say, okay, that was a little bit harder than we thought it was going to be. And I did have those thoughts. I was like, maybe this is just too hard. But then I realized the reason it was hard is because we were in a rush. And so I didn't say anything to her. I just decided that we were going to still be able to do the other two, but I was going to encourage her to pace herself a lot better. And so that's what I did. We did get those finished, even though we had to eat snacks at their concert that we went to, and she did see them. She was able to deliver, and they loved them. She still had a couple more to make, and I did volunteer to help her with the sewing each part on. It was a lot. And so I was like, if you crochet every part, I will sew them on. And so she did. Of those last two, she crocheted every part and I sewed them on, and throughout the whole process, I didn't say anything about what a big project it was or how annoying it was or how frustrating it was. But I didn't do that because I had pre-thought about it. And I had thought of what the future consequences might be if I did say that to her. For one, it would discourage her from gift giving. For two, she would not want to crochet anymore. For three, she would feel like her confidence, kind of dashed because I didn't believe that she could do this thing. And just a few other things along those lines on how this would not have turned out good if I had said some of those things that went on in my mind. So sometimes that is part of what motherhood is. It is slowing down and thinking before you speak. It is realizing that, no, I don't want to say that because I do want my daughter to like to crochet. I do want my daughter to be a gift giver. I do want to help her in these endeavors. I don't want to hurt her confidence. I don't want to discourage her from gift giving or from crocheting. And the ways I wanted to negatively speak out about this project would have or had the potential to be a very negative experience. But instead it turned out really positive. The mice were so cute. I think her friends all loved them. And I learned that sometimes it is a sacrifice to give gifts and to help others, especially our children. Sometimes it is a sacrifice. And even if it is a project that is too much, and trust me, there have been many of those where I'm like, I'm sorry, we just can't do that. We're going to have to bag this and do something else. Think about the tone you use. The tone I was wanting to use was going to be like, we shouldn't have done this. This was a bad idea. Like, that would have not built her up. But if I would have said, hey, I think this might be a little advanced and I still want to help you get your friends a gift, but could we think of something else? Maybe we can look for a different pattern or do something easier. The tone and how you phrase things makes a difference, not only for you, but for your children. And so as I had that experience happen to me and it had a more positive outlook, I wanted to share that with you. Now, I know that a lot of my life experiences, I guess, or stories don't always have positive outlooks, but this one did, and I felt like there were some of you on here who could learn from this experience and implement it somehow into your motherhood to find more positivity and more confidence in the mom that you desire to be. Anyways, we will chat again next week. Until next time. Thank you for being a part of the Positivity in Pregnancy and Motherhood podcast, for listening, for sharing, and most of all, for applying these tools into your own life to improve your own happiness so that you can find your own better thoughts and becoming the mother that you desire to be through taking small steps in thought and action to reach your goals. If you are a mother who has an inner desire to enjoy motherhood and pregnancy better, but you are having difficulty figuring it out, I can help you. Thanks for joining. Reach out, let's connect, and let's see you move forward in your motherhood. My name is Jocelyn, and I thank you for listening. Until next time.